The challenging nature of the logistics industry means it's hard to attract and retain talent, especially the younger workforce. But Datuk Michael Teo of PKT Logistics has perfected a formula to making logistics an attractive career choice by first keeping employees' work-life balance in check. He tells how PKT Logistics is driving an industry-wide change by implementing a first-class corporate culture as the company ramps up to hit 1 billion ringgit revenue target.
Hi, you're tuning in to AWANI Review with me, Cynthia Ng, and joining me on this episode today is Datuk Michael Teo. He is the Group Chief Executive and Managing Director of PKT Logistics Group, which is a homegrown total logistics provider. Thank you so much, Datuk, for making time. And PKT Logistics, I understand, was founded by your father about 45 years ago.
1974.
1974,
Yeah.
so it's in Klang.
Yep.
And you're Klang boy?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, let's start with that. Tell us about the history of the company, and did you always knew that you'll take over the business?
Well, I was born in the business. I still remember the front part of the house is actually an office, and we actually lived behind the house way back in 1970s. So company born in 1974, and then I grew up following my dad to work, and sometimes we will help them to do some clearance and then stay in a port, following them, driving cars around, clearing cars. So that is how I grew up as a youth. Then I always inspire myself that I want to be an entrepreneur, just like my dad one day. So when I decided to further my education, I went for business study in UK, followed by accounting degree, masters in finance. And then I came back from the UK in 1996. I will tell everybody this is coming back for national service, where before that, when I was in the UK, I was doing some part-time jobs myself. So coming back for national service is like sacrificing your salary and to take a small salary in Malaysia, working for the parents, something like that.
So did you always had this cultivation of love or interest towards logistics, or it's just because it's a family business?
Yeah, because it's a family business, doesn't really matter whether it's a logistics or not. But then again, I did always consider it is a logistics business that I'm going into. And while I was studying in the UK, I always observed logistics stuff like the trucks, the name, the branding, how they paint the trucks, how they build their warehouses, how does warehouse look like. I always had that in mind. Even in my project as a diploma student, I actually I draw a master plan of a warehouse. And I think today this is my forte already.
And you were importing, exporting used
car.
cars
Yeah,
as well.
I was doing many jobs. I think as a young student, while you are studying, it's better to have a lot of part-time jobs. That is actually help you to handle a lot of soft skills that you do not learn from the college and higher institutions. So I do a lot of part-time jobs. I was a waiter. I was a cashier in a mini market. I was a babysitter. I was serving beer behind bars. You know. So and also I started my own business, exporting car back to Malaysia at that time.
Okay, so when you came back to Malaysia, did you immediately join the family business?
Yes, indeed. Actually, I was in the UK at that time, and then right after my wedding in '95, my dad my parents asked me to sit down. We got something to chat with you, because nobody is taking over the family business. Then they say that, Michael, why don't you come back and take over the family business? Then I was thinking, well, I have done my active income type of job where I work very hard to get a lot of money. But then if I don't work, I don't get money. That kind of active income. I want to move towards passive income when I'm still young. I envision myself to become like somebody like Richard Branson. I built a lot of businesses. The business grow by itself. I just need to travel the world and the business still growing. I want that kind of passive income. So I thought, it is the right age for me to move on from active income to passive income.
Okay, so let's talk about that. How has the company evolved over the years, and how would you describe PKT's vision and mission?
Yeah. So if you want to build a passive income business, you need to grow the business. So I was very passionate at the very beginning. We do a lot of transformation. The first transformation we did was in 2008 when we grow our business to a certain level where we did our niche logistics. There are so many types of logistics in the market, all the verticals, oil and gas logistics, you can do FMCG, FMB, automotive. And then when I came back, I stumbled upon automotive first. So we become specialized in automotive and we grew the business to a level about 201 million, and we were stagnant there for a few years. So meaning we already fully exhausted our market share already. And then from that time we did a first transformation in 2008 where we moved into non-auto sector. So this is called our company transformation program. So we came up with 3 wawasan. The first wawasan, we call it wawasan 60-40. 60% maintained in automotive, 40% in non-auto sector.
That's the FMCG.
FMCG, FMB, even the education is actually one of our non-auto sectors diversification plan. Now we call co-supply chain, and also we went to port logistics as well, and a lot. So that is wawasan 60-40. So instead of focusing all our investment on auto, we move away and we focus on non-auto side. That's where we build all these beautiful warehouses. And then we also have another wawasan, is wawasan ASEAN 30. Don't put all our eggs in Malaysia baskets. So we start focusing outside Malaysia. With that wawasan, and then when we were hit by 2009 financial crisis, that helps, because at that time the currency was attacked, and not only currency attack, so financial crisis is a downturn. During downturn, the first industry to hit is always automotive, because recession, people stop buying new car. So because of that, we work very hard to move away from Malaysia, and we start looking for business outside Malaysia, especially places like Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, growing industry, you know. So we also went to Korea and look for businesses, and that's where that wawasan ASEAN 30 helps us quite a bit.
So where does it stand right now in terms of your presence? I understand you are in most ASEAN countries, yes. South Korea, Japan.
Well, when we first went after that division, we went everywhere. Then after that we consolidate, because we know certain area is not easy for us to penetrate, because of their law, internal law, like Indonesia are very protected. You cannot have 51% foreign to do custom clearance and whatnot. And even Vietnam are very protected as well. So we consolidate our position and tell ourselves, rather than we focus on doing everything, let's focus on only automotive logistics first. That's our forte. So now we are in Korea, we are in Indonesia, we are in Thailand, and we are in India. So all focus on automotive
but
first.
Not China.
And also Taiwan. Not China. The reason why we avoided China, because we were having problem in Vietnam about this same issue, the protection, and China is, as you know, they don't really have a very strong company law yet. So we don't really want to spend a lot of time on country that we cannot manage later, because the market share that we have in Malaysia is big enough for us to concentrate for 10 years.
So in terms of revenue contribution right now, how much of it comes from overseas and how much is local?
Well, ASEAN 30 is supposed to be 30% from overseas, but then again, that depends on season. Like during the time when the automotive business in Malaysia really down, that become ratio 70-30. But now they pick up again. Now that ratio jumped back to like 80-15%, something like that.
So at where you stand right now, what is the revenue?
Last year we hit over 600 million. This year is still a secret because we cannot review a lot of information.
All right. But I understand that there is intention to expand further. Yes. One of the plans could involve listing on Bursa Malaysia.
Yes.
Tell us about
ultimately, as a company going concern, we need to be public listed, because we have already created a lot of hype in the market and people are focusing on PKT. The thing here is, I promise it will be Malaysia, because we have a lot of support from Malaysian government. And also, we will depends on the market, depends on how the market will turn around, maybe end of this year or maybe next year. Whatever we do, we prepare ourselves for listing.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about expansion plans then. looking at your warehouse you have at the moment here in Batu Kawan, in Kuantan, and there is certainly a lot going on for you, right?
Yes.
Where is the direction that you're taking PKT?
Well, our vision was very clear. I think as a leader of a company, as a company concern, we need to have a clear vision in our company. When we decided on the three wawasan, ASEAN 30, 60-40, ASEAN 30 and 1B, and we focus how to reach that figure. And
so
also,
just for our audience understanding, 1B is a 1 billion revenue.
Yeah.
Is there a time frame for that?
When we set it up, that time we put it at 5, 2008. So 2015 was our initial plan. And then, you know, after that, we had this 2009 world financial crisis, and then followed by 2014 currency crisis.
Yeah. So a bit of a setback, but you're well on track right now.
So basically, we just adjust along the way with good justification to tell our shareholders, our employee basically need to have a clear vision. So they all know our vision is hitting 1B is one of them. 60-40 is very important, ASEAN 30. And then we also created a second transformation program when in 2011, when we were hitting a big growth area towards the direction of 1B. So that is when we were growing from 200 million, when we hit 500 million. So we also feel that we reached also another psychology level. You know, stock also has psychology. Well, no way a company will grow straight line. So normally they will be like that, then go up, like that, and then go up. So that plateau area, we did a second transformation program because we need to change our mindset again. Because basically they are all local employees. They have never seen this kind of figures before. They never seen this kind of growth before. We need to get them visualize how they can achieve that and change their self-esteem as well. So we did our second transformation program. We call it Employee Transformation Program, and we focus on creating cultures for the company. A lot of company in Malaysia, I think we failed in doing this kind of growth because a boss normally control everything. So then the company can grow until the level the boss can handle. The boss means the CEO, the company can handle because he's a one-man show, he's a dictator, he decides everything. So when you want to hit $1 billion, it's no longer you yourself. It's more of we together hit $1 billion ringgit. So we need to create culture in order to sustain that kind of growth.
So let's talk about that culture, because I understand your ambition. You're a homegrown company, but you're operating more like an MNC, right?
Correct, yeah.
So what is that culture that's needed among employees to go to that direction that you want to be at?
Yeah, exactly. I think there are Malaysian logistics, Malaysian industry as a whole, we are very lack of culture. These are more on Western way of management team. Even the multinational companies that invested in Malaysia, they will try to teach a lot of cultures to the local employees so that they can sustain them. So we created 3 cultures at the very beginning. The cultures are actually suggested by they themselves. They want it to be a healthy working environment. They don't want to be sick, and also I also don't like to have a lot of MCs, right? So we decided health will be our first healthy lifestyle at work. It will be our first culture that we created in a company. So I make a big investment towards that direction first. We create gyms. Every block of our office, you go there, in the ship and the wave and the lighthouse here, they have gym upstairs. So gym is not just normal gyms. I know a lot of the bosses, our gyms are expensive. You know, we put a few treadmill and then put them inside a room somewhere, unused room, that's it. No, ours is totally different. If you go and see our gym, it's overlooking the best view and a nice changing room for them. So that becomes to show how serious we are in taking care of their health. So health was number 1. Number 2, they want to have happy working environment. So I say, well, happy, what does it mean by happy, you know? Coming to work, they want to be happy, they don't want to be stressed at work. I say if it's happy and stress, no stress and happy, no need to work, it's easier. So they say no, but they will be very honest about their KPI. So 2 culture was created at that transformation, happy working culture and honesty working culture. So what we did is we set up KPI on every employee. So everyone has a KPI already, all right? So like for example, one day you can do 5 documents, that is your KPI. If you finish, you can do anything you like, you don't have to pretend you're working anymore. Otherwise, A lot of people set up 5 KPI, then the other guy 5 KPI, she do 1 file, I do 5 files, then she didn't finish, the boss throw another 4 files to me because I'm faster than her. Then after some time I pretend to be working. So everyone in the office pretending to be working. So we set it this way, once you finish you can go to gym, day park, anywhere you like. You don't have to pretend you're working anymore. So that was the second culture that we created. Happy working environment and cool because it's very flexible. So we have 2 working hours, you can choose to come to work. 8:30 you finish at 5, 9:30 you finish at 6. That is also flexible.
How many employees do you have?
Over 1,000 employees now.
Over 1,000,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Sorry, the third culture that we created, happy and honesty. Honesty become another KPI for us, but how to KPI honesty? That's why we have all this honesty corner everywhere in our office. That is how we KPI our honesty. Because
So
you can buy the food, put the money into the box, and then you change your own money, and somebody will come and calculate the stocks and put a sticker every day, honesty day, dishonesty day, charity day.
So certainly there's a lot of emphasis put into creating a right culture because at the end of it, you want a company with the right culture to attract the right talent, correct?
Yeah.
And looking at that, where do you see the future of workforce and also the future of logistics? Because with automation coming in and talking about artificial intelligence and all that, but let's talk about how you're moving that workforce towards this next era of, people call it disruption.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, knowing the fact that the new generation of employees needed for the new industrial revolutions. So a lot of companies, they block Facebook from work. They don't allow you to be on Facebook at work. We are totally different. We are compulsory to be on Facebook during working time. So we changed that mindset because we use Facebook as our communication channel. So we have an intra-group where everyone is inside there. There's no notice board anywhere in this office because all my notice board is inside a Facebook group.
Is that why you have over 1 million followers on Facebook?
Yes, social media as well. So we embrace the latest technology. Efficiency communication is super important nowadays. Why the Western and then companies and Chinese are moving so fast? Because their communication speed is very fast. So we cannot discourage technology because if you say you block social media to work, you can imagine they still have the handphone with them, right? They still can scroll their Insta and whatnot. The most is they spend longer time in the toilet, maybe half an hour to 1 hour. They don't want to get out. So you cannot stop them. So when we embrace that kind of know-how and also social media at work, we become the most sought after company. All the new generation want to work for us. So when they come and work for us, they are able to adapt to all this kind of Industrial 4.0 stuff. Technology, they are super fast on technology, computer, adaptations. They work more efficient than anyone else. So this is what I'm trying to do in order to move us to another level. We need that kind of workforce.
What about in terms of operations at your warehouse? How are you implementing technology?
Well, we implement due to stage. It depends on the customer requirement. We cannot straight away implement full automation. The one that you see there, the world best, biggest, like the Amazon and all Alibaba warehouse, they are the biggest operator in the world. So obviously they need automation. But then if we don't have the economics of scale, we cannot invest into automation. You will lose a lot of money there. So you have to balance between the needs and also the supply to the customer as well. If the customer do not require that kind of investment, you don't do that. Yeah.
Well, like most other
But we are ready.
You're ready
Yeah.
to scale up technology. Okay. But like most other industries, transportation, logistics, they are currently confronting immense change, with
Yes.
digitization taking place. Customer expectations have evolved. They want things faster, more flexibly, and at a lower cost.
Yes.
So like for a company like PKT Logistics, how do you navigate those changes?
Well, lower cost depends on economics of scale. Well, you see, as a logistics company, the more customer you have, you achieve a bigger economics of scale. So the customer would like to use people who already have this business in hand. So in terms of logistics, there's a lot of economics of scale element we use to get our pricing down and cheaper and cheaper. Then the more you have, Then we reach a stage where you need to do automation. So there are many stages of automation. You don't go full automation overnight. You do semi-automation and then partial, then go into full when you reach another bigger economies of scale.
Earlier, before we start the interview, you said that you want to transform the logistics industry in Malaysia through PKT. Tell us about that vision.
Well, originally, the logistics industry are not being looked at by the students, the graduates, or future undergraduates as a subject to study. So we have an acute shortage of logisticians in the market. So what we did here is, because the reason is logistics is deemed to be very boring, dirty, hot, and not a sexy title to hold at that time. So we decided to build iconic buildings, concept warehouse. Who says the warehouse need to be A-shaped all the time? You know, it doesn't have to be A-shaped, ma. The reason Malaysia we have A-shaped compared to the foreign country have flat shape. It's not flat because they don't have much rain, but Malaysia we have a lot of rain. So we say instead of building that kind of warehouse, why don't we build concept warehouse with neem? So we built the first warehouse, we call it the ship. And then the second warehouse, we call it the wave. That attracts a lot of multinationals to come and see us because that warehouse sells by itself because it's different. Because then the third warehouse becomes the lighthouse, the tallest warehouse in Malaysia, and GBI Gold Standard Warehouse. So that actually changed the perception that warehouse can be built in the A shape, it can be different. No, not only that, when they came in here and then they take a walk in the warehouse, it's not a warehouse, this is like Google office. So you imagine students coming here for tour, they end up, they love this place, they follow us on the Facebook, and then we call this the Milo Van phenomenon we are creating, where the students are following us on the Facebook. Once you follow us, it's very easy for us to sell them things ready. So we tell them about our office culture, we tell them about our growth, we tell them about how cool is our new warehouse, whatever. So when they graduate, they straight away they want to work for us. Yeah. And then the story get around, hey, you know, actually logistics not bad, right? It's quite cool, you know, you come to this office, really have a gym, nice changing room, and every pantry has a concept and whatnot. So that story changed, and actually we now are moving into our 5th generation warehouse already.
So what is the long-term plan for PKT Logistics? Listing could be one of that, but in the overall picture, where do you hope to see PKT Logistics?
Yeah, we want to play a role in helping to transform logistics industry in Malaysia. We know for the fact Malaysia should be the next ASEAN logistics hub. But in order to become the next ASEAN logistics hub, we need to change a lot of things. But we just want to provide the critical mass to change. We change first. And if we change, another competitor will come in and then they want to build another warehouse, that kind of standard, they say, no, 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 you need to benchmark against PKT already. So that is the change that we are trying to do for the logistics industry. Then now we are changing the transport industry as well by getting graduate to become truck drivers. We call it Smart Trucker program, where we employ graduates and we give them 4 years career path only. Because if you tell them full life, you become a truck driver, how to tell your friend, hey, I'm a lorry driver now. No, 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 it's not cool. They are called Smart Trucker. Smart Trucker are graduate after diploma or after degree. They become truck drivers for only 4 years, making 4,000 to 6,000 ringgit per month. And on the 5th year, they can opt to become our senior logistics executive. So that is not forever, it's just only for 4 years only. So that is a trial period for them to go in and see whether it can be a career. So now we are putting professionalism in the trucking industry. So when this thing happens, then when the critical mass happen for this change, you will find that in the future Malaysia has a very good professional truck drivers and very nice logistics warehouses. So that two combined, we can be the ASEAN logistics hub.
So that's for the company. What about personally for yourself?
Personally, I'm very happy with the growth of the company. I am myself living the life that I dreamed to be when I first joined the company. I say I want to go into passive income. So this time I'm about 6 times a year I will be traveling. I have my big family trip, then I have my 2 immediate family trip, then I have my management retreat once a year, and I have my 2 study tour. So I become tour guide twice a year, where I open up, because I have 1 million followers in Facebook, so I open up DMT. DMT is my initial study tour number 10, and this is number 12. So I open up for young entrepreneurs to follow me for a study tour. I will become the tour guide. So yeah, I don't know why I like that, but it's very challenging and really enjoy that kind of efficiency. You imagine I'm one person waiting for them in the airport. I've never met some of them before. It's interviewed via the Skype, and in the airport with all their boarding pass, checking, hotel checking form, all on my knapsack. I meet them and I'll guide them, go in, and I go to UK, rent a car, then tour, walkie-talkie, everything. So I love that kind of work. I'm enjoying my life. Yeah, I hope to mentoring. I won't say that I'm really mentoring as per se, but more of like they follow what I'm doing, and hopefully they are all giving back to society the way we are doing it. Like under our JBSP program, Jom Bekerja Sambil Belajar, ABIB program, Housewife program, Anak Belajar Ibu Bekerja program, and a lot of things that we are doing. So we hope to inspire a lot of businesses. So that is in our mission statement. Build environmentally friendly warehouses, utilize all the local human resources, don't use foreign worker, because you know, if you use a lot of foreign worker, it's not good for the economy, and build green warehouses to make sure that it's environmentally friendly and inspire other business to give back to society at the same time.
All right. Thank you so much, Datuk Michael. That was
Welcome.
great.
Yeah.
Take you.
Thank you.
I guess now we can go for that tour of the
Yeah.
warehouse.
Yeah.